Hello and welcome to an all-new series in which I aim to upgrade my Intercity 225. There's a parallel thread on the N-Gage forum which will have links, running costs, photographs, more detailed reports on each step along the way, and I shall link to that in the description. Now, I've called the series Project Mallard after the rebuilding and refurbishment the Mark IVs underwent between October 2003 and November 2005. Although I do still believe that the original GNER interior, especially in first class, was one of the finest amongst any coaching stock in the modern era. So the aim shall be to bring the Mark IV set up to standard. The tooling is old, the details quite crude, and the gap in between the coaches I find is shockingly large. So I'll aim to shrink that. Now I must admit I have already fettled with the TSOE. Originally, Farish had a plastic mould for the end coach, but it got lost during their move to China. So upon acquiring this set, I removed the painted gangway here, and I fitted a paper replacement that I printed myself. Now I'll post some photos on the thread of this side by side with the GNER gangway and the original mould Farish had on the Swallow Mark IVs. I regret selling my Swallow Mark IVs. But that aside, the DVT, the coaches are as I bought them from Farish about 6-7 years ago now. The 91 is the detailed version from the previous video, so the buffer beams there, and it's been DCC fitted and all that malarkey's happened. And I do intend to add lights to the DVT, passengers, interiors, gangways and coach lighting, and then also to weather the whole frame, including the 91, the underframes in frame dirt from rail match and the roof and roof dirt. The sides were usually kept clean by GNER, so I might put on a layer of varnish or something, but we'll see about that. But today I haven't quite got all the necessary things to do the whole project in one, so I'll be shortening the abyss between the coaches by shortening the couplings, and then I will try out a Rapido light bar which I got from Rails, and we'll fit some interiors as well as I have a set around. Anyways, let's get cracking and I hope you enjoy. So before I start, I'll talk you through the various parts I've got. So I've got one Rapido easy peasy passenger car lighting bar, which comes with a magic wand, which we'll talk about later. I picked this up from Rails of Sheffield for about £7. Then we've got interiors for Mark IVs from BR Lines, so the first class and second class versions. I have one I picked up at a show, and there's a rake of 9 is needed. So that's what we've got here. I'll use one of these in the buffet. And then I've got the small Graham Farish Rapido couplers to replace the medium ones on the coaches to try and bring it all closer together. So I'll start from the front of the train with the TSOE. I've got the second class interior from BR Lines, and to take apart a Farish coach, just pop off the roof on the Mark IV. Then you remove the 2 bogies just by pulling, ensuring you don't lose the pins. That's why I'd like to do it in the lid of a box, so I know I've got all the parts. The 2 bogies, and then the underframe can clip out. I found a flathead screwdriver can help here, just to prise these open. And then I won't necessarily be doing anything to the underframe today, but that and the bogies will be weathered soon. So that's the actual body shell itself. Sadly, it is just all printed on. There's no detachable handrails, they're not a separate moulding or anything. You can remove the 2 gangways, but it's a faff and I have no need to do so, so I shan't. So then we get the BR Lines interior, which has these holes marked where the seating holes go, and it fits in very nicely, like this, and straight away the coach looks a lot better. Soon I will be adding passengers as well, but they haven't arrived yet, so without any further ado, let's get to the light bar. So with the Rapido easy peasy passenger car lighting, you get the light bar itself, you get 2 spare batteries, well, 2 batteries to be used, but I've got plenty of these lying around. They are LR41 alkaline button cell batteries. You can buy them in Tesco's and eBay and all sorts. And you get this, the magic wand, to activate it. Now, I'm quite a fan of Rapido's sort of light-hearted nature, and I like the naming of the magic wand, but for me it has the practical application whereby I think I'll add this in about a foot into the fiddle yard on either side or within the tunnel. That way the passenger cars, the lighting will go on in the tunnel. There won't be a flicker when they come onto the layout, but I'll preserve battery life by not having them on the whole time. Nevertheless, let's cut into it and see if it actually works. Now, for the reason of the magic wand, I chose the Rapido passenger car lighting, I found the dapple light bars can be a bit irritating because they're always on, and I didn't like how bright they were, but the images of the Rapido light bar didn't look too bright. So hopefully this will all work and look good. I have got a Mark III coach as well. It's just a Midland mainline TFO by Farish, to see if it fits in there as well. So the light bar, it doesn't feel flimsy. It feels delicate, but not flimsy. I was expecting it to be a lot more easily to break or so forth, but it's quality engineering. Next up we have the magic wand, and then the 2 watch batteries down here, which I will somehow, quite some violence, get out, I'm sure. Here we go. But these are just usual button cell batteries, so you can really pick them up anywhere, which is good. There's no specific Rapido battery you need to buy to replace them. They say they can last up to a year, but obviously that's subjective to how much you're using them. So the light bar, it will fit within the Mark IV roof. Yes, it must do. It might not. I might have to remove these 2 grooves and then cut off a bit from the pillars within the Mark IV coaches themselves, but that should be fine. And I'll just check that they also fit inside the Mark III coach, because I know a lot of people in the N-Gage forum were unsure if these would fit in British stock as they're made for American stock, but I will find out now. I haven't opened this one up in probably forever. I don't think it's ever been opened up by how sticky that was. So yes, it will fit within a Mark III coach. I might fit one of my Mark III rigs with these if they prove to be good, but if I don't like how it looks, I've only bought one so far. If I do like how it looks, I'll get myself another 8, maybe another rake in the future. So first, was there any particular way in which I need to throw the batteries in, or anything I need to do? The facing you. The flat side of the battery should be facing you when you install it. Okay. So I suppose it just goes in that way. I very much doubt you'll be able to see this at the moment because I've got rather large fingers. But I'm hoping. Okay, that was very easy to do. Here's the other battery. And I just prise it in there. It's not quite in yet. There we go, they're both in now. And now if I get the magic wand. No. Oh, yep, there we go, we have light. So this is the magnetic switch. So that's it with the lights on. They're not too bright. I can turn them off, so any... Oh. I guess I think just a wave over. I'm sure they say you'll need a bit of practice to perfect how to do it, and I think that's probably true. But for now, that seems to be working a treat. The lights aren't too bright, so they should look good within the Mark IV. I'll get some sticky tape, or probably some blue tack first, to fasten it into the roof and see how it looks. Now, in order to get the light bar to fit, I am going to have to trim off the pillars. So I'm just going to take a wire cutter and trim off the first sort of barleycorn, really, if we're going for imperial measurements. Sort of 2/3 of a centimetre. And that might be enough. I might need to trim off a bit more. Have a look. That should be enough, but I think on the roof, the moulds as well need a bit of cutting down. So I have now successfully removed the lugs. I ended up just using a Stanley knife, and that was just fun. It was a bit of work. It felt a bit odd trying to sort of butcher a roof of a Mark IV. They're quite rare these days. A couple went on eBay a few days ago. I think a TFO, TSO, and a TSOD. I think they went for £65 or so. So I'm keeping on to my 15 of them for quite some time. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding the double-sided tape into the roof of the Mark IV, like thus. Rapido suggests using double-sided tape. It strikes me as not being too permanent. And then make sure the roof does still sit on without the 2 pillars. It should do. There's a lug on either side. It should clip in nicely. It might not stay in place as much as it... Oh, it's still perfectly fine sitting in place. So now, to add the light bar. Now in theory, it should fit just there with the roof on top. I like to test all this before I... there you go. Actually no, I'll test it once I've... no, I'll test it now. Don't need to stick it in for that. So hold it. There we go. Not sure if you can tell. That's on or off. I'll turn off these lights. That's the lighting off. That's the lighting on. You can't really tell in this light, so I'll do it in the dark later. But it's nice and warm. It's exactly what I wanted. So now I'll go for the actual removal of the sticky tape and stick in the light bar itself. So I'll pull back on the sticky tape rather quickly. Make sure I know where I'm putting this. Just get the light bar, plonk it in the middle. Make sure it's central. Push down. That shouldn't come undone. The light bar's now fitted. All I've got to do now is decide which way around I want to put it. I don't think it might fit this way. That's that conspicuous. Yeah, you don't really see the batteries if I pop it that way. What about this way? Certainly are well hidden at the top now. I reckon I'll go this way to try and hide it. The toilet area. I'll plonk the roof on. If this still fits, might just fit that way. No, it does fit that way. The roof is on. It's all good. The light bar's in. So I've now put the TSOE back together again. I didn't change the couplings in the end because the ones I'd ordered were NEM pocket. So I'll just use them on the Dapple Mark IIIs. And then that should hopefully free up some Easi-shunt couplers and maybe some medium ones. For the repeater ones, that is. But the coach is back together again. All I'll do now is I'll fit the remaining interiors into the other coaches. And then I'll put it on the layout and we'll see how it looks with the coach lighting. So all in all, I'm very happy with how the BR Line's interior look. I think they really do improve the models greatly. It gives you something to look at as opposed to just a shell. But obviously, I'm a bit disappointed that I, well, in essence, got the wrong couplings, so I can't close the gaps a little. But the real star of the show for today is, of course, the Rapido coach lighting. Now I'll turn off my big light so you can see exactly how it works. This is very dark now, but in essence you touch it with the wand and what you can see now is there's quite a bit of bleeding of light, especially around the red GNER stripe. So I'll just shunt the 91 ever so slightly closer. And you can really notice it in this shot now, about here-ish. So what I'll try and do is I'll replace it, the BR Line seating. I'll remove it first of all, and then once I've removed it I'll put some masking tape over the windows and put some black paint on it and see if that makes a difference. I'll do it on a spare TFO to start off with, so I make sure I don't ruin the paint job on this model. But that shouldn't be too hard to do, and I think my passengers should be coming soon. So next up will be passengers and gangways, I suppose. And we'll see if they can fix the coupling issue, or if I need to try and develop my own coupling system to bring them nice and close together. If I turn the light back on, but I'll shine it slightly away, you can see that the coach lighting greatly improves the 91 and 225 set. So if I just let it do a loop rather quickly, you'll see it really does add to the model, and I'll certainly be getting the other 8 light bars required. I mean, they'll hit the wallet hard, so I'll make sure neither the Farish 319 or the Dapple HSPs are coming out next few days, although the Farish 319 will be another few years. But here she comes again. You can really sort of see how much of a difference the light bar makes. It makes it look much more prototypical for my liking. I'm a very big fan of it. The only problem I have with it, it's missing a few people. I don't have a TMD layout or a depot, so what I will be doing is getting the people and adding them next. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've got any questions, please get in touch either in the comments section or on the Engage forum, and I'll leave you by just showing you how the magic wand works. I'm a very big fan of the mechanism actually. It takes a while to get used to, but you just touch it from above, or almost, oh that's too quick, and then it gives it on or off. But I'll see with what I can do about, sometimes it works if you go from one side to another, sometimes it doesn't, so we'll see if I can put it under a bridge and then have the train start past it. So it didn't work that time, but if we go the other way, maybe we'll have good luck. There we go. So that's sort of what I'm floating towards, but the light, it's not too bright, and I'm very happy with the overall result. Part 2 will come shortly. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.